Hi, I'm Niall from GulfStream Boat Sales. Today we're taking a look around a 2007 Bayliner 245 sports cruiser. This boat's fitted with the more desirable 5-litre MPI fuel-injected stern drive engine, which is matched up to a Bravo 3 twin prop drive. The whole boat's in really nice condition. It's a 2 owners from new example, and it comes complete with a UK spec roller coaster road trailer. This one is in great shape, and it's well equipped for weekending away on the water for extended periods of time on board. And what we're going to do now is take a detailed walk around the boat, show you all the features and things in it, just give you a better idea of the condition that this one's in, and hopefully help you to make up your mind of whether this might be the boat for you or not. At this stage, I've now sold quite a few of these Bayliner 245s, and I think this one's actually the third boat, the third 245 that I've had for sale now in the last 6 months. They always sell really quickly, and the reason for that is that they genuinely are just about the perfect entry-level point into sports cruising sort of lifestyle. They're legal to tow behind standard 4x4. I think it's rated up to 3.5 ton towing capacity. You can tow it behind the car completely legally. There's also not a huge amount of weight in it, so it is feasible to launch and recover, so you can use it for traveling away for the weekend, put the boat in the water for 2 or 3 days, pull it out and head home again. And lots of people like to have that flexibility with it. It's almost like a floating caravan that you can go away on for the weekend. The fact that this one's on a trailer, the last 3 that I've sold have all been on trailers as well, and that's a huge bonus. This one's on a proper UK spec, twin axle, roller coaster road trailer that's in good shape, and it's included in the asking price. And this one is also 2007, so it's very young. It's got 340 hours on the clock, and it's a 2 owner from new example with all the paperwork completely in order. It's got the original VAT invoice, the CE certificate, all the previous bills of sale, so it's completely perfect in terms of paperwork. So yeah, this one's definitely going to be a desirable boat. In terms of the condition of the exterior, it has a few knocks and scrapes here and there, but generally speaking, it's in really good condition. This is exactly how the boat came into us. We've literally just given it a hand polish. We haven't mopped it, sanded it, anything at all. And the reason for that, normally we would do it because there are a few little light scuffs here in this colour band, and these would stand out. But the problem I have at the moment is I'm going away on holidays next week, and the owner is very keen for me to get the boat advertised. We literally just haven't had the time to spend on doing that. If this is something that really annoys you and you want it addressed, that's possible. We can do that for you, no problem. And as I said, these here little marks will virtually disappear. At the minute they're extremely minor. A couple of small ones here, and we've got a slightly bigger one here. This happened to the owner only very recently. He was pretty frustrated about it. But it's probably about maybe 9 or 10 inches long. It's not too deep, and I'm pretty confident that will sand out. But like I said, we just haven't had the time. Apart from that, the rest of this port side is perfect. There's no other marks on it, either in the blue or the white gel. Above the rub rail as well is perfect. The rub rail itself is all in really good condition. All the stainless steel work from the rails to the cleats is great. The engine room vents, the shore power hookup point, the little pinstripes and the model identifier and everything, the Bayliner logo down here, it's all perfect. So literally, apart from those couple of scratches towards the front of the boat, the rest of this port side is pristine. Taking a look then up around the bow of the boat, it's all in really good condition. The rub rail, the anchor roller, down here is all really good. There's one little small mark here, or a tiny one there, but that's probably just from putting the boat on and off the trailer. But that's, generally speaking, that's in really good shape. And then coming down along the starboard side, again, it's sort of the same story. The overall impression is excellent. I mean, it looks really fresh, really young. Still a good shine to the gel coat. As I said, we've just given it a hand polish, but there are a few light scuffs here and there that could benefit from just a wee bit of wet and dry paper and then mopping the boat back up again. As I said, we would normally do this to a boat like this, but we just haven't had time this time around, but that can be resolved for you, no problem at all. There is a wee small area here that had seen a previous repair, where he's obviously just knocked the rub rail at some point. This bit of rub rail has been replaced by the looks of things. And we've had a wee gel repair above and below the rail. If you're looking really close, you can see that repair, but the current owner wasn't even aware of that until I had told him about it, so you really have to be looking hard to spot that. But it's it all looks good. Coming on down here then, the rails again on this side, the cleats, we've got a VHF aerial here, engine room vents, again everything's perfect, all the little chrome accents around the port lights are good, and all the little through hull fittings and everything, the Bayliner badge and stuff, it's all in great shape. The boat has been anti-fouled as well. Just recently, only the boat was in the water for about a month before the owners decided to pull it out and try to sell it because they're looking to move up to a bigger boat. So the anti-fouling was done about a month ago. It's in good condition as well, so that would do you for the rest of the season. You could, anti-foul her again in the spring of the year. If you really want to make this boat sort of stand out, look like brand new, if it was me, I would sand out those scratches in the hull and redo the anti-foul in a nice navy paint, a bit darker than this to match the colour band on the hull, and then if that was done with a navy anti-fouling paint, this boat's going to look like brand new again. I always talk about the corners of these sports boats and these sports cruisers being very vulnerable areas, just because of the way that the stern of the boat behaves. Whenever you turn the steering wheel to the left as you go to drive off a berth, it kicks the stern to the opposite direction, it kicks the stern to the right, so it's very common to just catch the stern on the jetties, and unfortunately this boat has fell victim to that. We do have a little mark here on the port side. Rub rail has been kicked up a wee bit and a couple of stress cracks in the gel. I mean, this is purely cosmetic. The sealing behind the rub rail is still good. There's no evidence of any leaks or water ingression. This is well above the waterline anyway, but there's no evidence of any leaks or ingression inside the boat. I've had a look there, it all looks good, so it is purely cosmetic, but I just want to point you out so you're aware of that. It's very, very common on these types of boats. We've also got another smaller scuff really on the same area over on the starboard side. So I mean, it's not even, hasn't cracked the gel. This is another just a wee chip. But the rub rail has a couple of wee scuffs on it, but this is very minor. Taking a look at the rest of the transom of the boat, the condition's really good. We've got this folding 3-step stainless steel boarding ladder that stows underneath the swim platform. Full width integrated swim platform. It's probably around about 18 inches deep or so. It's all molded, not skid. Plenty of chrome handrails here for either climbing up onto the boat out of the water, or if you're crossing the back of the boat from the jetty, get that big, that upper level handrail there. So it's and everything's in really nice condition there. We also have a retrofit stainless steel tow and eye. So this is not a factory fit. I had a look behind it. It has been reinforced and things. I probably wouldn't pull a multi-person towable from it, but for pulling kids on a ring or something, or on a wakeboard, it should be fine. And it's absolutely perfect. There's no deformation to the gel coat there, no cracks or anything, so it has not been abused up until this point. But it's a nice addition to have, because I know lots of people with these type of boats do like to pull a water toy or something like that. Taking a look below the waterline, you can see then that this boat is fitted with this Bravo 3 dual prop stern drive. So we've got twin counter-rotating propellers on a single shaft. So what that means, that's not fitted. This is not a standard fit on these Bayliner 245s. This is like the top of the range petrol power package, where you've got the 5 litre MPI engine, so it's fuel injected, turnkey start, really efficient, smooth running, and it makes 260 horsepower. And then this dual prop drive is also an upgrade from the standard single prop. The benefit of the dual prop is that it tracks much better in a straight line. So if you're doing slow speed running, which this boat has done quite a lot of, going by the data download on the laptop, it means that you can just let the steering wheel go at slow speed and the boat will track in a straight line. Whereas single prop, you're having to constantly saw away at the steering wheel to get it to go straight. The other benefit is that it gets on the plane quicker, it stays on plane down to lower speeds, and just generally transmits the power from the engine to the water much more efficiently and effectively. So it's a great drive to have, and really it is. This power package, this drivetrain, would be my top choice in a Bayliner 245. Condition of everything here is perfect. Mechanically, the boat's in really super condition. All the seals look really good. The bellows are in nice condition, they're nice and pliable and things. The anodes are still well above 50% of the original size. The propellers are virtually unmarked. The skeg as well, although we've had a wee notch out of the back of it here, it's really nothing to worry about. This is just, it's not doing anything down here other than just protect the prop really. So The paint finish is still really good on it as well. It's the original factory paint finish. It's never been anti-fouled or anything. And everything back here, the trim tabs as well. We've got port and starboard trim tabs for helping control the running angle of the boat underway, help you straighten up the boat if you're running in a crosswind. They're all in really good working order and they're perfect shape. No corrosion or anything back here. This boat, as far as I know, has been a freshwater boat from new. Spent most of its time in fresh water here in Ireland. And taking a look at this transom, it has all the hallmarks of a freshwater boat. Coming into the boat then, this is the standard Bayliner 245 layout. It's a really good layout, makes the absolute most of the available space that's here, and it's very user friendly. Whether you're using the boat just to sort of lounge on, have a picnic, a few drinks, or if you're using it for water sports or fishing or whatever, it's versatile enough to lend itself to a multitude of different uses. First thing you notice is the cockpit is all one level, so there's no steps or anything to trip you up. You'll also notice that these carpets are pretty much brand new. I think the owner told me he had them done, it was at the start of this season or towards the end of last season, so they're virtually like new. Done by a guy who makes aftermarket carpets over here in Ireland. He does really top quality work. All the little details are perfect, right down to the colour coded button poppers and stuff. They're really neat job, and they're obviously in perfect condition. So in terms of the layout then, we have a little transom seat across the stern of the boat. We've got another lounger here, that port side lounger that either doubles up as a forward facing seat that goes into the sun pad lounger, or with the seat backrest flipped forward, it doubles up as a seat facing the rear of the boat, so you can sit 4 adults around the little cockpit table that sets into the mount there on the floor. So with a seat set like this, the table set up, you can sit and have a picnic or a few drinks or whatever, stick on the cockpit lights after dark. Really pleasant place to spend some time. Whenever you're underway then, you can flick this forward or backwards, and this doubles up as additional seating. Another great feature is that you can fold the transom seat completely flat against the transom. If you check out the pictures, you'll see that done. And what that does, that opens up that whole rear cockpit area for if you're standing fishing in the boat. You can do that. You can take off the bimini frame, put that downstairs, fold the seat flat. Lots of room for standing and fishing out of the back of the boat. Or if you're swimming off the boat, or you've got kids that are doing water sports and stuff, they can come in and you can lift the carpet. They can, get changed there, drip the water all over there, and you still have this area at the front of the cockpit for sitting and relaxing in. You'll also notice we've got this little freshwater shower over in this area of the cockpit, so hot and cold pressurized water. So if you are having a swim or doing water sports, you can use that for rinsing off afterwards, or you can use it for washing down the deck if you've been fishing. So that's well located there too. You notice as well we've got little moulded in steps on both the port and starboard sides of the cockpit. So if you are moored up against a pier wall or a high jetty, you can use those as steps to get in and out of the side of the boat without having to try and climb up from the swim platform. In terms of the condition of everything in here, it really is pristine. Like I said, the carpets are brand new. The rest of the upholstery is perfect. I can't find any tears or stains or discoloration or anything anywhere around the upholstery. The only very, very slight thing I have to point out is a couple of little wear marks. I mean, it's not even really worth pointing out, but I always point it out in these Bayliner 245s because it can be a little bit of a pinch point moving through here, and it's very common for these seats to be, torn or rubbed through. So this is literally the best one I've ever seen. So that tells a story that it's been well looked after, despite the use it's had. It's obviously been owned by 2 very careful owners, and they've looked after it really well. So condition of everything in the cockpit is perfect. The boat genuinely does look like it's brand new, and it certainly is a testament to the upkeep of the previous owners. This helm position on this 245 is really well appointed. It's a great layout. The helm seat is adjustable fore and aft. You've got an integrated molded in footrest here down low, so it's really easy to get a comfortable seating position. Whenever you are seated, you've got clear visibility through the windscreen, and we've also got a proper pantograph wiper arm up there, so it clears the windscreen really well, so you can actually sit and drive the boat from a seating position, looking through the windscreen even on a bad day. There's also lots of room for standing at the helm here if you want to stand, just to get more visibility around the screen for coming in to berth the boat, or if you are doing water sports and things. The steering wheel is on a 5-position tilt adjust as well, so you can tilt it up whenever you're standing, or tilt it down whenever you're sitting at the helm. This one is really well spec'd. It's got all the standard stuff, so you've got all the standard instrumentation, all of which is working perfectly. We've got integrated depth sounder as well, factory Faria digital depth sounder, giving you the depth of water under the keel. We've got a remote control here for the Jensen stereo. Head unit lives down in the cabin, and you can control channel and functions and stereo and everything from up here. We've got all our 12-volt switchgear here for horn, bilge pumps, engine blower motor, the accessories, cockpit lights, navigation lights, the wiper, and the trim tabs, and literally everything in this boat is in perfect working order, and we haven't had to fix anything, which is unusual as well. So again, another example, indication that the boat has been really well looked after. In terms of electronics, this one's fitted with a Navman Tracker 5505 GPS, so it's a 5-inch GPS chart plotter, and it's in really good condition, it's working well, and it's also got a Navman VHF 7100 VHF radio, so everything you need really for navigating a boat like this, whether it's inland like this one has been most of its life, or whether you're using it around the coast as well, you're well set up for all that. Below the dash then we've got a row of circuit breakers, so if any of your circuits trip, you don't have to go hunting for a fuse panel, you just reset it there. We've got switches for our macerator pump down here, we've got our CE certification plate in here as well, so this is a proper UK boat. It's sold by Craft here in Northern Ireland. It's CE certified to carry 8 passengers, it's category C rated. We've got a remote fire extinguisher activation point. This is the status indicator for the fire system, so the wee green light shows that the fire system's all in good order. And then we've got our throttle and shift lever over here as well, which is well placed again for using on longer passages. And everything is in perfect condition. The steering's nice and light, all the controls are nice and slick. The whole boat is it feels nice and fresh and young and good. The boat's fitted with the Mercruiser 5-litre MPI, 260 horsepower fuel injected engine, as I've mentioned before. And it has run for a total of 340 hours. We've plugged it into the laptop. I'll show you the footage now that we took of the laptop, so you can see the hours that it's run and that type of thing. Now that is, some people will say that's high hours. In our part of the world, we get used to the fact that boats do very little. You could get a 5 or 6 year old boat that's only done 50 hours or 100 hours, and if you see anything over 200, it's almost, you sort of fall into the trap of thinking, well, those are big hours, I should be looking for something with less hours. It's really not. Where these boats are, where we have a decent climate, you can see boats like this with 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours, 3,000 hours, no problem, and they have that sort of lifespan in them without any trouble or issue whatsoever. It's literally because they spend most of their lives in this part of the country in sheds doing nothing, and in some cases, if they've been laid up properly and serviced and stored correctly, it can be fine. But if they haven't been put away properly, then low hours does not always necessarily mean great condition. What's more important is that you get something that's been well maintained, that looks well, that has been looked after. So a boat that's seen this sort of use, I mean, if you average it out, since 2007, it's 8 seasons, so it's really only about 40 hours a season, which is not very much, but it's a good indicator that the boat has been looked after, it's been used, it's been loved, and you can see that the owners have obviously taken care of anything that's needed taken care of. So I really, personally, from my personal point of view, that the hours in this boat are absolutely fine. I wouldn't be put off by it in any shape, form or fashion. And you can also tell from the laptop readout, which I'll show you in a moment, that it spent most of its life at low speed running, again tootling along freshwater rivers in the lakes. Again, it's all freshwater use, so you've no worries of corrosion or anything. So it's I think it's the laptop tells a story, but it's all good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, the engine's completely fault free. No evidence of any historical faults or anything. It's all in really good condition. But we'll fire up the engine as well after we show you the laptop footage, and you can see exactly for yourself how it's running and starting. Engine access on the Bayliner 245 is really straightforward. It really couldn't be any simpler. You don't have to move any seats. All you have to do is make sure that the table is not in position, and then you undo a couple of catches on the port and starboard side and lift the hatch. You don't even have to move any carpets, just leave the carpets in position. Just open the catches and then the engine hatch lifts up on 2 gas assist struts. So that's giving us really good access then into this engine bay. So as you can see, we've got the Mercruiser 5 litre MPI engine, run 340 hours, totally clean bill of health on the laptop. It is in immaculate condition. Again, being fresh water, it's a really huge advantage because there's no corrosion in here at all. Even the pulleys on the front of the engine, which are just sort of painted cast iron mild steel, they're the first to start rusting, if there is any rust. Even the bottom pulleys are completely crystal clear. There's not a spot of corrosion anywhere around the motor at all. Bilges are nice and dry and clean. We've got a twin battery setup over here, and the battery boxes are all neat and tidy. We've got a calorifier in the corner, so you get hot water whenever you're plugged into shore power. We've got a holding tank here, which has a macerator pump hooked up to it as well, so you can empty the tank if you're out at sea. But it also has the vacuum suction point on the deck for emptying it using the vacuum pump as well. Automatic fire extinguishing system, which is all in great condition. Battery chargers mounted over there. Everything looks to be in really nice condition in here. And as I said, mechanically, the boat is running beautifully. So we just plugged the laptop into the motor, the 5 litre MPI engine, just to get the fault history and the run hours. So you can see here, the boat has run a total of 340.5 hours. Now you'll also notice that with the brakes there, breaks it down into how much time it's spent at each rev range. Over 200 hours, 250 hours has been spent below 3,000 RPM. So it's really just slow speed running, idling around the marina, that type of thing. There's very little time up at the higher RPM ranges. So again, that's very typical of a freshwater boat, just around the lakes, just tootling around. So, and the engine's running beautifully, starting really well. So there's bags of life left in that. If we also take a look at the fault status here, you can see that the fault history is clear. Those are sort of sensors that are optional and not used on this boat, so it's just saying they're not connected, so that's fine. So there's no faults there at all. And then if we look at the fault history, it's also completely clear. Just those standard ones that come up relating to those 3 sensors that aren't used. So yeah, that's good clean bill of health as far as the laptop's concerned. So we fired it up there. You can see the engine starting, first turn of the key, sitting and idling really well. It's revving out really well also. We also shifted it in and out of gear, and the drive is silky smooth. It slides in the gear lovely, no clunks, no rattles. Everything is in really good shape with this engine. Definitely got bags of life left in it. As I mentioned, we're up against it slightly in terms of time that we have available to get the video done and get this boat listed. So we just don't have enough time to put it in the water and show you how it performs underway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some footage of a boat that I sold in December, advertised in December. The exact same boat, same year, same engine, same drive, and just that'll give you a really good idea of exactly how this one performs. I mean, we've put the engine through its paces. We were there whenever the boat came out of the water as well, so the engine's running really good, the drive's not making any noises, everything's running straight and true, and it's all in great condition. So of course you're more than welcome to have a sea trial of the boat if you decide to buy it, but we just don't have time right now to do a sea trial as part of the video thing. But we're going to show you some footage anyway, so you can see exactly how this boat will go in the water. Access out onto the foredeck of the boat is through this opening windscreen section. So the hinges and the stopper and everything's in good condition there. And then we've got these moulded in steps, and the top of the cabin entry door doubles up as a walkway out onto the foredeck. Everything's moulded non-skid. Condition of everything here is beautiful. The windscreen, the supports, all the door hatches, all the door catches and hinges and things. And then the entire foredeck as well is all moulded non-skid too, so you can use that as a bit of a sun pad out there. It's safe to walk out to the front for dropping the anchor and things, and you do have a nice little recessed flat area right up at the forepeak of the bow where you can stand and raise and lower the anchor. There is an anchor with the boat that was taken off for transit just so it didn't drop down or hit the tow vehicle in front, but that is included with the boat, so there's an anchor and rode there going with it. So again, everything's in really nice condition there. This boat comes complete with a full set of camper covers, so you can use those whenever you're on the boat. It's the extended camper back as well, so it has the second set of bars at the rear of the cockpit, so it takes the covers right to the very back of the cockpit with a vertical curtain on the stern, so that you don't lose any headroom in the boat. They're all in really good condition. They're stowed downstairs in the aft cabin, and then as well as that, the owner had a brand new tonneau cover made. Again, I think it was the start of the season, the same time as he had the covers done. So it's a brand new custom-made tonneau cover that covers the windscreen. It's a flat cover, it goes all the way to the back of the boat. Lovely little elasticated cuffs to go around the bimini frame so that don't get any water down in there. And it's a really top quality job actually. I was really impressed with the quality of that cover, and that's all included in the price also. The cabin in this Bayliner 245 is definitely, to my mind, it's the best in class whenever you look at these entry-level sports cruisers, you know, these 24-foot sports cruisers. The reason for that mainly is these high-level windows you have on the port and starboard side, so that whenever you are down in the cabin, you've got visibility out the side. If you're standing at the helm preparing a meal, or even just sitting in here, you've got lots of natural light and ventilation with this overhead deck hatch, and also a couple of opening port lights there as well. So it just makes it feel really nice and spacious in here. In terms of the layout, we've got the standard V-berth arrangement up at the front, so big V-shaped dinette around, again, another table that sets up in here. You can convert this into a double bed at night time. We've got well-appointed galley, which is a really good size. It's fitted with a microwave, single burner, alcohol electric stove. We've got a big sink with running hot and cold water. Storage in there. We've also got a 12 volt dual voltage refrigerator down below the galley. It's all in really nice condition. And then on the starboard side, we've got our enclosed heads and shower compartment there, just so you come down into the cabin. You'll notice this boat has the sort of upgrade package at the time, which was this little wooden floor at the galley, so you stand less chance of wearing out your carpet. It also sort of richens the look of the boat. We've got these solid surface countertops, stainless steel sink, stainless steel taps. That was all part of the interior upgrade package at the time. Lovely beige vinyl, leather effect vinyl on the seats up here, and the condition of everything is really nice. Lots of storage around behind the seats. The headliner's in great condition, seat cushions are in great condition, the carpets, the wood, everything down here is really in virtually as new condition. So yeah, it's a very, very usable cabin, whether you're going away with even two couples could comfortably spend a weekend on the boat, or probably more typically small family, you know, 2 adults, 2 or 3 kids, with the combination of this double berth here and the dedicated double berth in the aft cabin, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. You've got lots of room, and then, you know, loads of storage space, storage underneath the seats. As I said, storage behind the seat backs here, and lots of places for getting all your supplies hidden away in the galley too. So yeah, everything down here is great setup and in great condition. Access into the heads compartment then is through this door on the starboard side of the cabin, so it's fully enclosed private heads compartment, and we've got a nice bright and airy heads. It's good size again for a 25-foot boat. There's plenty of elbow room in there. We've got the proper pump out toilet that's hooked up to the holding tank in the back. There's a macerator pump to empty the tank overboard. We've got a little sink and vanity unit. The tap lifts out and you can mount it up here to use it as a shower head, pressurized hot and cold water. There's a little storage compartment underneath the sink. We've got an opening port light there and another little deck light. There is a little curtain you can pop on there to screen that off as well. Overhead light, and the whole compartment is lined and drained. Water drains into the little sump at the bottom and is pumped overboard. So that heads compartment is great. Obviously fantastic for day use, but also makes this boat viable as a proper weekender. You know, you can have a shower and things in there and take care of all your ablutions while you're away from the jetty. Taking a look quickly at the steps here, just to show you some of the little cubby holes and things. We've got an integrated trash container there, an integrated bin. It's easy to access. And down below here we've got access into the forward bilge compartment. So everything in there, you probably can't see this, but that gives you access into the forward bilge pump and the shower sump pump. But everything in there is nice and clean. There's no evidence of any high water marks in there. It's all nice and dry. So again, good to see all that. Just everything's in nice condition there. Then taking a look at the access into the aft cabin. Again, this is one of the main, it is a great feature of these Bayliner 245s. They really do cram an incredible amount of space into 24 foot 6 inches hull. And part of that is, even with this good sized galley compartment, you still have a nice wide entryway into the aft cabin. Some of the other brands, the entry level boats, the entry level cruisers, this is like a coffin berth and you have to sort of turn sideways nearly to get into it, but the Bayliner has a good wide entryway into it. It's got an overhead reading light there, got a cushioned headboard at the top of the bed, there's storage in behind that. You've got a big shelf then above that as well. Lots of headroom here at the head of the bed, and this is a full double berth that extends right across the width of the boat. Now, as you can see, we've got fuller cushions in there for the forward cabin. We've got tonneau cover, camper covers. Those are filler pieces for the forward bed as well. The table's also sitting in there as well. So there's a great space for firing in all your gear during the day, but at night time it's a good full-size double berth. There's an additional overhead light, reading light then at the foot of the bed as well. So everything is in great condition in here. All the original upholstery, original mattress, everything's nice and dry. Headlining's in good nick. And this little opening deck hatch as well out into the cockpit, a little roll-up curtain, it's all in really good working order as well. So again, that gives you a bit of extra natural light and ventilation in there. So yeah, that's a really good aft cabin, and certainly one of the best you'll find on a boat of this size. You've got the original Bayliner manual pack there with all the original Bayliner books. There's lots of cubby holes, storage space around the galley. This is our 240 volt switch panel for whenever you're plugged in the shore power. It's a stereo head unit with the remote control up at the helm, front loading CD player, and it also has an auxiliary input here so you can plug in your MP3 player. Cubby hole for storage in there, and more storage here underneath the sink. This is the ownership pack. All the original invoices and everything's in here, and all the previous bills of sale. So as I said, all the paperwork for this boat is there, present and correct. The boat does have 240 volt shore power as well, and it's already been swapped over to your proper UK sockets. They come from the factory, although it's a 240 volt system. These European boats still come with American sockets, so it's a bit of a nuisance to have to use American sockets and plug adapters. So this one has had the socket swapped over to UK style plugs, so that's great. You've also got a little 12 volt power output here, and then switches for your cabin lights and stuff. Just quickly taking a look at the bulkhead on the starboard side, we've got a carbon monoxide alarm, which is in perfect working order, a little green light indicating no carbon monoxide in the air, and then this little elasticated thing with a hook above, so that's you can hang jackets and life jackets and things there and use the bungee cord to clip them in place so they don't they're not waving around the cabin. So as you can see, everything, the curtains are all there, speakers, forward mirror, curtains on this other side, everything's there, it's all in great shape, all the little downlighters are working. Really is a lovely boat in beautiful condition. So there you go, that's our 2007 Bayliner 245 sports cruiser. The boat has 340 hours on the clock, 2 owners from new, it's an original UK boat, VAT paid, It's CE certified. It comes complete with a UK spec twin axle roller coaster road trailer as well. And the whole package, as you can see, the whole package is in great condition. The only thing that lets it down very, very slightly are a couple of scuffs and scrapes around the hull. But as I said, we're more than happy to resolve those for you as part of any deal, so that you'll be getting the boat looking just like brand new. It is a great example. Paperwork's perfect. Mechanically, she's perfect. She also has the most desirable engine and drive package in my mind. You know, the 5-litre fuel-injected engine, because it's more powerful, 260 horsepower, and also because it's fuel-injected, you really don't pay any performance penalty for that either. So, fuel economy penalty. You know, it's certainly as efficient, if not more efficient, than the sort of standard carburetor engine. And the dual prop, the Bravo 3 drive, is just beautiful. It's silky smooth in operation. It means that the slow speed handling of the boat's much more enjoyable, and the performance is better. It gets on the plane quicker, and it stays on plane down to lower speeds as well. So it's a fantastic Bayliner 245. As I said, I've sold quite a few of these now. This is definitely a good one. It's well priced as well, because the owner's keen to move on to his next boat. So hopefully you like the look of it, and hopefully you're maybe interested in buying it. If you'd like to have a chat about it, or you'd like to come and see the boat, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Just give me a call or drop me an email, or you can fill out the callback request form on this page of our website, and I'll contact you at a time that's convenient. Thanks very much for watching.